TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family-owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy, business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsuranceguy.com. And Eldercare Services of DeKalb County, safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org.
Welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 24. Honored and privileged to have with us from the DeKalb Salvation Army, DeKalb County Salvation Army, Mr. James Spencer. Now, Jim, I always want to go by titles because I know you guys were with the majors and the captains and the whatnot, but you explained to me the other time you're a foot soldier, aren't you?
I'm a foot soldier, yes. Just an administrator.
Okay, so what is the hierarchy? Is there a corporal in that, and is there a sergeant?
We start out with a cadet, which is a person who's going through seminary with the Salvation Army to become a Salvation Army officer. Then you go to a lieutenant, captain, major, and then on out from there.
All right, very good. So are you evolving to that, or you'll just be a...
Right now, we're just tentatively as an administrator right now.
And you work with your lovely wife, Jennifer. Tell us about that, how that's going.
Yes, doing well, absolutely. We're going on our 38th year of working Christmas kettles and Christmas seasons, so we've got some experience under our belt. And looking forward to another good season.
Wow, 38 years. That's something, boy. So we're going to talk to you about, of course, we have Let's Talk Turkey coming up here, the Salvation Army, of course, at 9th and Grove Street. We're going to be over there a week from this Friday. It's going to be on November 21st for the Thanksgiving food baskets. And, of course, the applications are still good until 11/21. Is that right? Until
Correct.
The day we do this, right?
Yes, absolutely. We take them right up to the last minute. Right now, we're somewhere around the 700 mark as far as the applications, which is an increase over the amount that we did last year.
So at least 700 right now, huh?
Correct.
Okay, and I know you told us that a lot of times, inevitably, you get some late little stragglers at the end coming in, too.
Yes, we do, right up to the very end.
All right, so we'll talk some more about that. But, Dan, you got some news for us? Dan Lynch, of course, the oak tree of the news department. What you got there, Dan?
DeKalb City Council approved a development plan and final plat Monday night for a 5-megawatt solar farm. This is at the southwest corner of Route 38 and John Huber Parkway. City leaders say the 38-acre project would leave the existing farmhouse and buildings in place and include native vegetation beneath the solar arrays. Also, Pure Sky Energy claims the solar farm is expected to generate enough electricity for about 900 to 1,000 homes yearly for 25 to 30 years. The project should be operational by late 2026. Access would be from Route 38, and the site would be enclosed with a 7-foot ag-style fence. The plan includes easements for future roadway upgrades and meets city and county planning requirements.
Well, I've ebbed and flow on this issue, too, because as I drive into St. Charles and I go down on 38 there and you see all those solar panels and... it's not like looking at a farm field. I don't know. Jim, you got any thoughts on this? What do you...
I don't really have any thoughts. I'm seeing them pop up all over the place.
Yeah, it's just the way we go right now. But this is such a big one. What you said, 38 acres, right, of solar panels?
Right, 5-megawatt solar farm. So that's a big... I mean, there are bigger ones than that. But,
and I've talked to some ag people, and I guess the land underneath the panels will be okay. You said this is a 30-year project, right? And then they take the panels out, right? Is that what they do?
The panels, yeah, they have a shelf life.
Okay.
Getting rid of them is another story.
Well, I was going to say.
The proponents don't like to talk about.
Well, yeah, what do they do? Do you know? I mean, it was like the batteries. A lot of people thought, electric cars, that's great. But then what do we do with the old batteries? Then we have the batteries.
Lithium-ion batteries, yeah, just... Don't ask that question.
All right, well, let's leave that one alone. Good news out of NIU. NIU has a new police chief, Jason John, permanent police chief at now is a permanent police chief. Serves as interim police since January 31st, since Darren Mitchell, what a great guy Darren Mitchell was, the former chief there. John is an NI alumnus who studied and earned his bachelor's degrees in human resource management and personal administration. Joined the attended the College of DuPage, Illinois Basic Law Enforcement Academy. John was served as deputy chief and he attended the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. I always wonder how they get the FBI agents. So here's a case here where he actually went and took the classes, huh? And could be a member of the FBI. Where we all. Jim's old enough to remember the FBI TV show,
Absolutely.
the original FBI TV show. He also won Outstanding Officer of the Award in 2005, and Officer of the Year in 2007, and a Life Saving Award in 2008. So we're going to get him on the podcast, but great to see people like that. And of course, I know you, Jim, you must see a lot of people from NIU. I know a lot of the students have, well, they're required, I guess, to do some community service, but do they come and help out at the Salvation Army?
We do have a lot of students that come and help out at the Salvation Army. We also have students that come through and receive services from the Salvation Army.
Is that right?
With our food pantry, but we also are building partnerships and networks with the other leaders from the university to incorporate our assistance in what we do for the community.
And can you see the change in the kids when they realize that, people don't have just basic things like food, and they can help make that happen?
Absolutely. And it's not limited to college students. We have high school students that come. We have homeschool students that come. And yes, they're all surprised at the sheer volume that we do and the amount of work that goes into providing food for families every day.
Well, great. Dan homeschools with his kids. What a great thing for the kids to do. So they'll come there and they help organize the pantry?
They do all kinds of stuff. We have deliveries every day that come in from the local supermarkets and retail stores in the community. They have to unpack all that stuff. They have to lay it out for the new display for the clients that are coming through to receive pantry. We have food that's being stored. Extra food that's being stored has to be moved up and downstairs with an elevator, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's plenty to do. We always have lots for people to do.
Yeah, because I know you have the refrigeration now, so you're able to offer things like milk and then you have vegetables as well, too, right?
Yep, fresh fruit, fresh produce, milk and dairy, cheese, all kinds of stuff. Absolutely.
Boy.
And fresh meat and seafood and chicken as well.
Come a long way, haven't you? Remember
We
when
sure have.
people would empty their shelves and you'd have a can of succotash or
Sardines.
sardines. Yeah. Well, that's great to know. And I want to acknowledge your lovely wife, Jennifer, and then, of course, Gary Billings over there. Gary is the food pantry coordinator. Walt Statz, if I say his right name?
Mm-hmm.
Walt is just an iron horse over there. And Elena Lara as well, Tom?
Correct. She's our new receptionist.
Okay.
She just hired on this year. She's doing a fantastic job on getting folks registered for the process of going through their Thanksgiving baskets that we're working toward. She's also helping with our Angel Tree registration for the families that are going to receive Christmas toys at Christmas time.
That's beautiful. And again, to register for the Thanksgiving, to stop by the Salvation Army, 830 Grove Street.
Yes.
And then sign up, right?
Yep, Monday through Thursday, 9 to noon.
Fantastic. All right, Dan, what else you got for news, my friend?
Sardines are really good for you.
You can have mine.
You can mine too.
Omega-3s, yeah. One person was taken to KCH after a two-vehicle wreck. This was at Twombly and Malta Roads Friday night. The DeKalb County Sheriff's Office says it was called at around 5:20 p.m. Apparently, an SUV driven by 30-year-old Alana Husky of DeKalb veered off the road for unknown reasons. And according to deputies, veered back onto the road and right into the path of a van driven by an Aurora residence. So the occupants of the van were treated on scene by Malta EMS and released. Husky was taken to the hospital where she was also cited for driving under the influence of alcohol and improper lane usage. She was released with a notice to appear.
Well, it's a double whammy now. It seems to be, and I don't know exactly what happened in this one, but with the telephones and DUIs, so now people, not only when they're intoxicated, will think they can drive, but they think they can be on the phone and drive at the same time. Because I don't know, I've seen people still on the phone constantly while they're driving, and I imagine have a few drinks, so I'm going to call my wife on the way home here. And so, it's a double whammy there. But all our prayers are with her. She's ironic that her name is Husky, and she's from DeKalb. You pick up on that?
Different spelling, but
Yeah.
Let's trying to lighten things up a little bit there. Now, a lot of people are concerned about our schools, and a lot of us don't know, school board meetings, people don't tend to attend those. I know there was a big issue, Dan, right, about a year or two ago where a lot of people were going to the school board meeting. But one of the things you want to hear is the numbers. 6 high schools in DeKalb County saw more than 90% of their students graduate in 4 years. Those numbers help push Illinois to the highest high school graduation in 15 years. But it's still not that great. Students graduating 4 years reached 89%. But that's a 6.2% increase from 2024. So in 2024, in Illinois, we're only graduating 84% of our students from high school. I don't know what they were back in our day, but can't believe it was like that. Student growth in both language arts, they mentioned here. But here's the breakdown. Indian Creek's high school, and that's a small rural school, right? 98.4% graduation rate. Sycamore, 95.1. Sandwich, 94. Genoa Kingston, 93. Salmonock, 92. Hiawatha, 90. Hinkley Big Rock, 87. And then DeKalb, 80%. 80.2%. So,
Wow.
just unbelievable. I can't, so that's, 8 out of 10, only 8 out of 10 kids at DeKalb High School are graduating. So those are some alarming numbers. It's good to hear the whole state numbers are going up, but unfortunately, that was a low. But this is based on numbers before the pandemic, because I know the pandemic kind of put everything in askew there. But but scary now with another good thing is that chronic absenteeism has declined for the third year in a row. And I was guilty of forging notes with my mother's signature and blowing off high school a lot. And,
No.
Did you barely graduate?
Yes. I didn't think I was going to go to college. I got a 1.7 grade point average. I blew off my senior pictures and everything. I just I knew what I wanted to do. Went up and bartended with my brother, had a bar up there in Wisconsin, and then went to a party in University of Whitewater, University of Madison. And I'm with all the kids. I go, what do you say? What do you take? What do you take? I'm a bartender. And what do you do? I'm a bartender. And so I decided it was time to go back to school. So at age 23, I went back to college. Was when I actually went and got the old bachelor's degree in communications.
There you go.
Got it.
How about you, Jim? Where'd you go?
I actually went a little bit of time to Purdue University Northwest.
Okay.
For culinary arts degree because I was originally going to be a chef.
Is that right?
And that didn't work out, and God called me into the ministry, and so I spent 2 years at the Salvation Army Seminary in Chicago.
No, but how did it not work out? People always need a good chef. What happened?
Well, God had a different call in my life. He wanted me to be a minister instead of a chef, and so that's what happens. Those doors close and other ones open.
Oh, I know we comfort each other through food. I always talk about that, bringing a casserole down when somebody is lost, in the neighborhood, and you bring them some food to comfort them. Right?
Yeah, and I still enjoy cooking it to this day. It's one of those things I do enjoy all the time and do as much of it as I can.
That's great. Dan, I never asked you, where'd you go to school? Where'd you go? What's the matter you? You went to What's the Matter You, right?
Well, like you, I didn't. I took radio and television courses, but I didn't have a plan going in because I didn't have any money. And then I was offered a full-time job, and I got sucked into a full-time paycheck.
Okay, well, understandable.
And then, 10 years go by.
Yeah, I remember I had to go to junior college to get my grade point average, and I was going to take photojournalism. I thought I wanted to be a photojournalist. And the guys, you got to buy the film and the camera. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do something else. All right, what do you got for news there, Dan?
DeKalb City Council approved an amendment this week on the last year, the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plan. Now, this amendment will reallocate $50,000 from street upgrades and will divert that cash to the Roots to Rise Transitional Youth Shelter Program. The shelter provides housing and support for young people 14 to 24 who are homeless or who are in an unstable housing situation. The money is part of the city's federal CDBG allocation and were repurposed from unspent 2024 funds in accordance with the federal guidelines and the city's citizen participation requirements.
Oh, well put there, because I just talked to Tara Russo over at Elder Care Services about this issue, because, Jim, maybe you can help us out here, because it's for 18 to 24-year-olds, and I wasn't, is it 18 or 14?
14 to 24.
Okay, so we have homeless teenagers, as far as we know, here in DeKalb County, because I had a shocking, we had our friends from Hope Haven on a couple weeks ago, and I discovered in the research I did, they had roughly in 2023, they said there was based 391 homeless people roughly in DeKalb County. And then I talked to our friends at Hope Haven, there's 91 beds. So I did the math, and obviously there's 300 people that there's no room for them. But I never thought about the younger people being homeless, or as he say, maybe an unstable family situation. Huh?
Yeah, we don't do anything with housing at this point in time aside from assisting with rent or mortgage. However, with our network partners that we are in contact with, yeah, it's a rising issue. That students and younger people are having more and more difficult times at home, and so it's a rising issue that they have to address.
So yeah, I know a lot of times where they want to stay at school because they don't even want to go home at that point, right? So,
Correct.
So this is I just wonder about the practicality of this in terms of the age group that we're talking about, but obviously the need is there.
The need is there for sure. And again, I've not been able to find out specifically more than that to say that it's there, but yeah, it is there and it is a growing trend.
And are you able to help people on an individual basis, Jim? For instance, if you say a teenage girl comes in and she's struggling at home or living on the street, do you kind of take her under the wing at that point? Or
We unfortunately don't have the ability to do that right now.
Okay.
It's one of those projects that we're looking at for the future. However, we don't have anything available at this time. We're simply able to help when we have the funding for rent and utility assistance for people that are in homes already or trying to get into a home.
Oh, very good. All right, very good. We'll talk to you some more. What else you got for news there, Dan?
A DeKalb man was arrested on drug charges. This was in Ogle County. Deputies conducted a traffic stop at Route 38, or on Route 38 in Creston. This was back on the 30th of October at around 4 in the afternoon. Police arrested 27-year-old Jason Bach of DeKalb for driving on a revoked license, unlawful possession of cannabis, and possession of cannabis with intent to deliver. He was taken to Ogle County Jail, processed, and released with a notice to appear.
Yes, a lot of unintelligent people in jail, because you be driving intoxicated. Let's go and have a lot of marijuana on board as well, too. And with the intent
If we're going to do it, we might as well do it
Might as
good.
well do it right there. Well, there's another story. Again, I remember when I first moved to DeKalb, there was a place called the Grotto, an adult bookstore in downtown DeKalb. Now, Dan, you're young enough. You grew up in this area. What was it? The bookstore. What was the bookstore? The guy sold magazines and dirty magazines in the back.
There was a store in DeKalb called Dirty Ralph's.
Dirty Ralph's, that's right. Because
And
he called it Dirty Ralph's.
I was into baseball cards as a kid,
And it was one of, and I was a
sports fan, and
you'd walk into this store and they had the Sun-Times and the Daily Southtown and
all the newspaper, the Tribune, and all the baseball cards, Fleer, Donruss,
Topps,
well, my mom found out that I went to the
store, and she was mad.
because apparently in the back were magazines.
Yes.
And
Anyway, so that addiction to pornography,
you had to jump through a lot of hoops.
to find it. Where today,
Yeah.
Today,
Oh,
it's
gosh.
today you can get it on your phone.
Right.
It's really
weird. But anyway,
Yeah, so I think that led to the demise of what was later changed to Lover's Playground. The adult store was grandfathered in after the adoption of the city's Unified Development Ordinance in 1993. So this goes back a ways. This has been around for a while, apparently, but it is no longer. So the Grotto, as it was
and it's an
referred to.
anomaly, TD, because how many?
right on the main drag in town.
Right.
I mean, how many towns have you driven through where a store like that is right on the main drag?
It's usually way out by the truck stop.
But you remember the tattoo parlors had that reputation, and now all of a sudden it's just commonplace. I think we have 3, I think, in DeKalb right now. 3 tattoo. You got any tats there, Jim?
I do not have any tats.
I
I have no plans of getting any.
I know. I never got the call myself. Dan has a large. No, you don't. Do you have a tattoo? Do you have a tattoo?
What? I'm thinking about getting an anchor.
No.
No, I love telling the story about my dad. He was with a group of ruffians that he was hanging out with, and they all went to get tattoos, and he didn't know what to get, so his name is Bob, so he had Bob he has Bob on his shoulder, and he pointed out that it reads forwards and backwards. So but I always thought that was great. We're going to do it, just get something basic like Bob on your shoulder. I want to welcome India Pizzeria. Now open. I love being old. Now that I've lived in DeKalb for 25 years, I can say the old Eduardo's restaurant. You referred to places in the old building, the old farm and fleet, the old. But we wish them they're another wood-fired pizza there. So welcome them. They're in downtown DeKalb. So it's good to see new businesses.
It's a nice location.
Yeah. Oh, what? You got another news story?
It's National Carbon Monoxide Awareness Month.
Oh, of course.
The Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal is urging you to recognize the danger of carbon monoxide poisoning, which claims hundreds of lives and sickens thousands each year across the nation. Last year, Illinois fire departments responded to almost 10,000 carbon monoxide related calls statewide.
Really?
So in Illinois, over the past decade, an average of 20 people per year have died from accidental carbon monoxide poisoning.
Now, how are we supposed to test those? Do you have one in the?
We have one in our
establishment?
house. We do probably have one in our building as well. Yeah.
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 Do you know how you test them? Or they beep when the battery goes down?
Right.
Okay.
Like your fire alarm, your smoke detector can double as one.
They're expensive. And it's odorless.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
The silent killer. Yes, it's scary stuff.
If you have a drafty old house, that's actually better.
I know we got our windows done. I thought, well,
And
like, wait a
one
minute.
of the things I learned was that you need to put them down closer to the ground. Most people install them like you would a smoke detector on the ceiling or up on high on the wall. But carbon monoxide is a heavier gas, and so it tends to stay closer to the floor. So they tell you to install them closer to the floor, and they're more likely to go off faster than they would if it's up on the wall or on the ceiling.
Well, that's great. I didn't know that. That's wonderful. All right, community calendar. Got one more news story?
I do. This is just Illinois U.S. House members voted along party lines as the chamber approved legislation to end the partial shutdown of the government Wednesday night. All of the state's Democratic U.S. reps voted against it, and the 3 Illinois Republicans voted in favor. So President Trump signed it. So that ended the 45-day shutdown.
Oh, so but Durbin, the senators voted for it too, right? I know Durbin did, right?
True,
Yeah.
yes. Durbin,
who's
One of the 8, the bad 8, supposedly, that the 8 Democratic senators that crossed the line. But thank God we have the government running again. Not that they were doing that great job before they stopped, but I always said you'd save money. You know, you shut that guy, I'm going to save some money, and I guess we'd lost all kinds of money. Community calendar brought to you by your friends at Stagecoach Players Theater. Go to stagecoachplayerstheater.com. They're at 126 South 5th Street. A Christmas Carol is coming. It's going to begin on December 11th and run through the 14th, and we'll be giving away tickets for that as well. That means a lot, doesn't it, Jimmy? Movies like that, things like that, people spiritually, because we forget Salvation Army, you guys are much with the spirit as you are with the physical, right?
Absolutely. We enjoy those kind of movies as well. In our household, my kids and my wife and I sit and watch at least one movie a season if we can squeeze it in. But yeah, absolutely.
That's great. That's great. And Dan, what do you got a favorite in the house?
I love A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim, 1951.
Oh.
But that was a great.
Who was it? George C. Scott did it too? Wasn't he one of the definitive roles there?
Yeah, I think there's one with Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler, really?
There's, I think, the Muppet version.
Does he wear his leather jacket when he's got the nightie on, or no?
Did you like that movie, Tiny Tim? And,
Oh, I did. I thought it was great. It was great. It was wonderful. But that's coming, and we'll be giving away tickets for that at our next podcast. I want to thank our friends at Blue Silo Orchard. Russ out there and the gang was our sponsors this year, and it's their first year at Blue Silo Orchard. So we're going to check them out in the spring. We'll talk to him some more about that. But I want to mention Stagecoach Players Theater because they're collecting Thanksgiving items for families. The Stagecoach Players and DEKALB Savonarche will host 2 food collections. Now, they do one on the 11th, another one coming up here on the 18th at the Stagecoach Players Theater, which is at 126 South 5th Street from 4 to 6 p.m. And it must be great when you have organizations like that, Jim, that step up and say, hey, we want to help out the Salvation Army. How can we do that, right?
Absolutely. We get all kinds of folks that call us throughout the year, groups. I just got a call today, as a matter of fact, from a lady who said, I live in a double cul-de-sac and we've got 16 homes and we want to collect turkeys. What do we do?
Is that
I
right?
gave her the information today and sent along the idea of the pantry goods that go with it, so we will see what they deliver on the 21st.
I love it, and this is another great story. There was a lady, now I didn't know all the details. Apparently a lady had used shoes that she was giving to families, and she was doing it out of her house, and then according to her, they didn't respect her house, so they stopped doing it. But a new donation site is Open Family Service Agency of DEKALB announced its plan to host a community shoebox, a charity organization that aims to provide space to collect and give away shoes for those in need. Social media post DEKALB agency indicated that Community Shoebox has reopened, this time under a different operator at a new location at 1325 Sycamore Road. That's right across from the Jewel there. That's where the radio station used to be. That's where WLBK was back in the day. But you can drop off shoes there from 11 to 6 o'clock on Monday through Thursday. That's the thing we don't think about, is it, Jim? I mean, our shoes, but my wife, she judges people on how their shoes look. But a lot of people, like myself, will wear a shoe until it's completely worn out. But a lot of people have to do that, don't they?
They do, absolutely. And we're fortunate to get those kinds of donations in periodically throughout the year. When we get those, what we would consider as odd donations or not consistent regular donations, those are the kind of things that we are able to put out and provide to the community when they come for services.
Really? Okay. Yeah, my grandson was over this summer, and we want to go play basketball at Little John, and he goes, no, these aren't my basketball shoes. They didn't have basketball shoes. These are one just to be seen in, apparently. So I'm like, come on. Oh, my shoes were everything when I was a kid.
Boy,
It's like,
if I'm near Becky, I got to make sure I have some pretty good shoes on.
yeah, she better. She will judge you. And on a later note, we want to mention, too, Northern Rehab is also collecting food for us for our Freezing for Food. Want to thank our friends at Northern Rehab. They're collecting through December 3rd, so we want to thank our friends there at Northern Rehab for doing that, jumping in like that, because a lot of people stepping up for us because we don't have the radio station to promote Let's Talk Turkey and Freeze for Food. And this is just for fun for you guys here. Slime, Battleship, and Trivial Pursuit have joined the Toy Hall of Fame. Battleship guy when you were a kid, Jim?
I was a
My
Battleship
brothers and I
guy.
played that religiously.
Yep.
How many?
Trivial Pursuit was another favorite.
That was another favorite one. We didn't even do the board game. We just did the cards. We did the. How many tiles does it take to blow up to win in Battleship? I just saw this in a trivia book.
For which ship?
Well, how many hits? I mean, altogether, how many hits do you have to win in Battleship?
I think you had to sink 3 ships.
Yeah, but how many torpedoes would that be? Right, because each one.
I'd say 13.
17. They're right there. Yeah. You sunk. We had the Battleship. You sunk my Battleship. Remember in the.
The old commercial.
But the slime, I never got into. The slime. You ever did the slime? I never really
did
did.
the
Never liked
slime.
No.
But the sports question category for
Sports and entertainment. That was the one I always lived for. I mean, sports and entertainment.
Yeah,
Geography, forget it.
You get a science one. Oh.
Taking a quick look at sports again, we try to replicate the morning show here when we do this. And Joe Ryan is going to be my guest. I'm going to interview Joe next week. Joe Ryan, of course, longtime football coach, all-time winningest coach at Sycamore High School. He's going to join us and talk about, they got to play the final game twice, without actually winning the championship. But that's how close they came. And we're going to talk to Cole Latimer. Now, earlier last year, we've only been doing this for 7 months. So earlier in our podcast history, we talked to Mike Nichols and his son, Sean Reynolds, a father and son coach and player. And this is another case where he's on a baseball team and his dad is the baseball coach at DEKALB High School. And we're going to talk to Cole, and he's staying right here. He's going to NIU. He's going to go to NIU for both football and baseball.
Wow.
So
Good to hear.
2 sports there. Now, what were you back in the day? Baseball?
I didn't do either one.
What was your sport? Come on.
I was in swimming when I was in high school.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yep. Swim the backstroke.
And Dan, you were baseball, but not so great, I recall.
Yeah. I can do the backstroke, but not competitively.
And of course, we like to include the obituaries too. And Jim, I tell all our guests when they come in, and so in awe of people when you summarize their lives in a couple of paragraphs, and you see what people did back in the day. I love when the people on Facebook, they'll show an old guy in a Marine hat, and they show him, and then they show a picture of what he was like at 17, a badass with a shirt rolled up, and
Yes.
I just love those when they do that. But this is Norman Otto, passed away on November 2nd, born in Sandwich, Illinois, graduated from Sandwich High School, married his wife Nancy. Norman served his country in the Army Reserves for 6 years, board member at the Northville Sandwich Trainage District. Otto family began a miniature train ride that Norman's father built for the Sandwich Fair in 1953. At an early age, Norman began working the train ride and became one of the engineers. The train has run for 73 years and continues to be a favorite tradition for young and old. So you ever rode the train there?
my kids rode it.
At the Sandwich Fair?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool to know the history there? This guy's father built that, and then he did that. He ran it for 73 years.
It's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Boy, so what people do in their lives. So God bless him. Jack Farley McFarland, 73 of Cortland. He was born in Paw Paw, West Virginia. Do you know there's more than one Paw Paw? I didn't.
not.
I just learned about the Paw Paw fruit. Graduated Sycamore High School. His nickname was Bird Legs, as he was the tallest kid in class. Married his wife, Susan. Jack's parents owned several movie theaters, including State Street Theater in Sycamore, where Jack grew up. That's where he developed his lifelong love of popcorn. One of his friends even nicknamed him Fairly Popcorn. No matter where he went, if popcorn was around, he could sniff it out like a bloodhound, and always had to have some. But that was my favorite question when I was on the radio, was nature versus nurture. I guess if you were born, if your mom and dad owned a movie theater.
Yeah, it's pretty well done, yeah.
Yeah, but how cool would that be?
It would be awesome.
Have your friends over and a party where you go to the movie theater and watch the movies, man. And then finally, Linda Christie Eckhorst, a 73 of DEKALB, bachelor's degree in sociology with a minor in accounting. She served as a business manager for St. Mary's Catholic Church in DEKALB. Devoted member of St. Mary's Catholic Church, Linda lived her life through service and compassion. Took to the skies for a once-in-a-lifetime skydiving event, taught motorcycle safety course, helped hard-of-hearing NIU students learn how to drive, coached her youth basketball team, and served as beloved Girl Scouts cookie mom for a Christian's troop, and coordinated uniforms for AYSO soccer. So that's one of those soccer moms that are just doing everything.
You're absolutely right.
How about that? Linda's life was defined by her generosity, enthusiasm, and in many ways she touched the lives of those around her. So we always like to include the obituaries. I just in awe of what people do. And most of them, they're so quiet about it, you don't know that they did. You
You don't, unless you have an interaction with them or you're friends with them on a personal basis. You don't know anything until they write in the paper.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't find that out to the end. So we love to be able to share that stuff. And of course, speaking of sharing, our friends at the DEKALB County History Center always provides us a little this date in history. You can check them out at DeKalbCountyHistory.org. Always go over there. They do a wonderful organization. And of course, Dan, with the homeschooling that you do, I know it's great for homeschoolers to be able to go over there, right? And check out the whole museum.
True.
That's a great thing, as they have.
In general, yeah.
So we would thank our friends, and they always provide us with a this date in history for us. And they got it on the phone here, so I'm going to tell you guys real quick, and then Dan's going to do our news quiz, and we'll wrap things up. Boy, Jim, I know how busy you are, but we really appreciate you taking time to visit with us.
Great to have the opportunity to come and talk. Just a reminder, everybody, we start bell ringing tomorrow, so you'll hear the bells around the city.
Tell us now, if you want to volunteer, like I know a lot of groups do that, how can they do that?
They can go to registertoring.org.
Register to ring at org, and then you can even pick your location, can't you?
You can pick the locations that we have across the area here and the times and the days that the ringing is available.
And the giving tree, what about the giving tree now?
The angel tree is in process of getting ready to go. We're going to be doing that and collecting those toys and items coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
No, I can't believe all this stuff I got. And then Toys for Tots. Then we have Toys for Tots.
We work in partnership with Toys for Tots. They actually
With the
help
Marine
provide
Corps, right?
a large portion of our toys that we do give away.
Oh, God bless you guys. All right, so this is from Gertrude Sweet was the first person buried in DeKalb's Evergreen Cemetery in 1854. A smallpox plague swept through the county and nearly depopulated DeKalb. Miss Nora Sweet died on November 14th, and Mr. Sweet and Russell Huntley together selected the spot where she was to be buried. It was upon an open prairie, but is now known as the beautiful Evergreen Cemetery at Taylor and 7th Street. It's the only person has to only consult the headstones to see how many dead of our settlers are sleeping in the silent city. So I guess they had an outbreak, almost wiped out DeKalb completely. World War I ended with the armistice on November 11, 1918. DeKalb County then had a population of slightly exceeding 30,000, giving it a record of more than one man in service for the war for each 30 inhabitants since the first draft. The holiday was called Armistice Day, became Veterans Day. We were talking to Mike Embry about that. But I guess we had a lot of kids that volunteered during World War I and II. And finally, DeKalb County experienced an eclipse 4 p.m. on November 8, 1975, the second of two eclipses that year. That afternoon, the eclipse lasted about 2 hours and was brighter than the eclipse in May. Now, did you guys catch the eclipse, this last one?
I did not see the last one, unfortunately, but I did see the Northern Lights just the other night.
Oh, you did?
My first time seeing them.
Okay.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, cool. How about you, Dan? Have you seen the?
I did not see I missed the Northern Lights and the eclipse. Missed that too. I was sawing
What, are you
logs.
busy raising a family? Come on.
Sawing logs at that hour.
And birthdays, we want to wish a happy birthday coming up here on the 18th. It'll be Angelique of Genoa will have a birthday. Nicholas Stockel will have a birthday in Sycamore on the 19th. Mary Fredericks of Sycamore will have a birthday on the 21st. Will Jake Landis as well. And on the 24th, Roberta Paulson of Genoa will have a birthday as well. Now, Dan,
mine's on the 15th on Saturday.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Jim.
birthday.
Appreciate that. Boy, with all this stuff going on, you got your birthday in the middle of that. There we go.
Always, every year.
Well, I wish I get you the moon, if I could, I'll tell you. So let's do it.
TJ, what are you offering the listeners?
Well, funny you should ask that, because we happen to have a deluxe car wash from Ralph's Full Service Car Wash and Detail Center. Again, they can't beat the work that they do over there. Ralph's 1820 Mercantile Drive across Menards. And Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. John Finnan, of course, pointing out that Thursdays, kids eat for free at Pizza Villa. So you get a gift certificate at Pizza Villa and Ralph's Car Wash when you play the News Pod News Quiz.
DeKalb City Councilors approved a development plan and final plat Monday night for a 5-megawatt solar farm. This is at the corner of what two roads?
All right. You can tell us that. TD Ryan 2001 at yahoo.com. Give me an email if you have the answer for that. Give me the question again one more time, please, Dan.
DeKalb City Council approved a development plan Monday night for a 5-megawatt solar farm at the southwest corner of these two roads in DeKalb.
All right, tell us that. You can answer TD Ryan 2001 at yahoo.com, and we'll give you a gift certificate to Pizza Villa, plus a car wash from Ralph's Full Service Car Wash. And then next week, we should be able to give away some tickets to the Christmas Carol over there at the Stagecoach Players Theater. So just wrapping things up here, Jim Spencer's been our guest here from the Salvation Army. And Jim, obviously, unique times. I guess you could say that about any time in America, but what's going on with SNAP and the food and, people losing their jobs and the economy the way it is, Salvation Army more important than ever.
We currently are seeing about a 30% increase in our loads for folks that are coming for food.
30%?
30%, just in
Wow.
the last month. And so we are working to continue to provide the highest quality foods that we have, and we're continuing to meet those needs. Yeah, we had a day last week where we served almost 150 people in one day.
Wow.
50 families, I should say, in one day.
And for folks that don't know, you have it set up like a little market, right there, where people come in, get a cart, and go through and
Correct.
pick what they want, as opposed to being handed a bag of food, right?
Correct.
And you've come a long way with the produce. And so if we want to do that, because I know inevitably when we do Freezing for Food, we have a lot of hunters in the area. They want to donate deer meat and things like that. Can they do that, or how does that work?
They can do that. We just ask that it be processed and packaged in whatever form of packaging, but it needs to be sanitary for us to be able to give it away.
Okay. And as we look at these next couple of weeks now here in December, obviously crazy time for you, what's the best way to approach you guys at the Salvation Army to help? Is it through online, or do you want them to come in physically, or what's the best way to?
You can do any one of the three. You can reach out to us. We have a website where you can contact us by email. You can stop in and ask questions or get a visit, talk with somebody in the office, or you can register to ring if you want to do that. My wife would just send me a text message and said, make sure you tell them we need volunteers on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of December, which is when we pass out the Christmas gifts
Okay.
to the families that are coming for.
All right. So again, lots of ways to help, right? Lots of different ways
Yes.
you can help out.
Yes.
Well, it's great. Again, we are blessed to have the Salvation Army in the area, and we always point out that it's the Salvation Army of DeKalb County, right? So you serve all of DeKalb County.
We do serve all of DeKalb County residents.
Just happen to be in DeKalb. That's what
Yep.
what the deal is there. Well, again, we look forward again the 21st of November. That'll be people that are hearing this will be this coming Friday, and then we're going to be down there at the Salvation Army 9th and Grove Street. Please bring a turkey or a ham or a lamb shank. If you got a lamb shank, we take that as well, or a monetary donation. But again, as you said, over 700 families registered for help. So let's see if every family in DeKalb County can have a wonderful holiday meal, right?
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
All right, Jim, take care of you. Give your love to your lovely wife and your family.
Will
Thank
do.
you for what you do, and we'll have you back again real soon. Of course,
Thank
Freezing
you.
for Food right around the corner. We always give Dan the Oak Tree of the news department the final word. What do you got there, Dan?
Thanks, TD, on this podcast. You do a great job.
Oh, well, I'll
It's
take
gonna be
that.
It's going to be a fun November.
All right, all right.
Rest of November.
All right, what he said. All right, that's TD Ryan Unleashed. And our big thanks to my nephews for making this happen, and our sponsors as well. And that's TD Ryan Unleashed News Podcast number 23.
TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zyman, your State Farm insurance agent. Scott can help you save money bundling your home and auto insurance. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zyman and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. For delivery or pickup, call 815-758-8116 or go to pizzavilla.com. My Insurance Guys in Sycamore, family owned, local, reliable. My Insurance Guys cover Medicare to auto and everything in between. Call us in Sycamore at 815-899-0950. My Insurance Guy, business, auto, home, life, and health at myinsuranceguy.com. And Eldercare Services of DeKalb County, safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay at home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdecalb.org.